Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children. We welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. Yesterday we start our new lesson Intellectual Awakening and Socio-Political Changes. In that we discussed about Confucianism, Taoism and Zoroastrianism. Today we are going to discuss about few more religions. Now we are going to discuss about the impact of iron technology in India. First, if you take Gangetic Valley, people learned to produce crops first. Then more than that was required for subsistence. They started to produce more than they need. And another section of people they took up some professional crafts as their livelihood. So such a concentration enabled villages to evolve into towns and as well as exchange centers to exchange their products. So Vaishali, Shravasti, Rajagriha, Kausambi, Kashi were some significant commercial centers of the Gangetic Plains. Now we are going to discuss about some post-Vedic religions. Three more Vedas, that is Yajur, Sama and Atharva, were composed after the Rig Veda. And manuals of rituals called Brahmanas, specifying rhyming words to be sung, and two commentaries on certain Rig Vedic hymns called Aranyakas and Upanishads. So, in that Aranyakas containing knowledge to be learnt secretly in the forest, and Upanishads were compiled in the upper Gangetic plain during 1000 to 600 BCE. Now, next we are going to discuss about Jainism and Buddhism. If we take Mahavira, who was the founder of Jainism, and Buddha, founder of Buddhism, lived a life of purity and exemplified simplicity. They lived in the times of kings like Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, and the famous kings of Magadha. The commercial development of the northern cities like Kaushambi, Kushinagara, Benares, Vaishali, and Rajagriha added importance to the Vaishyas who turned to Buddhism and Jainism in their eagerness to improve their social status. So first we are going to discuss about Jainism. Mahavira founded this, and Vardhamana Mahavira, it was his full name, and he was born in 599 BC at Kundagrama near Vaishali. His mother was Trishala. She was a princess of Lichavi. So he spent his early life as a prince, and he was married to a princess named Yashoda. At the age of 30, he left his home and became an ascetic. So for over 12 years, he wandered from place to place, and in the 13th year of his asceticism, he acquired the highest knowledge and came to be known as Jaina, which means conqueror. And the word Mahavira means great hero. So Jains believe that Mahavira came in a long line of Tirthankaras and he was the 24th and the last of them. So Mahavira traveled extensively as a preacher in the kingdoms of Magadha, Videha and Anga. So Magadha rulers like Bimbisara and Ajatashatru were influenced by his teaching. Thousands of people became his followers. After 30 years of preaching, he died at a place called Pavapuri in 527 BC at the age of 72. Next, we are going to discuss about teachings of Mahavira. So, the three principles of Jainism, that is, first one is right faith, belief in the teachings and wisdom of Mahavira, right knowledge, acceptance of the theory that there is no God and that the world existed without a creator, and right action. It refers to Mahavira's observance of five great things: ahimsa, honesty, kindness, truthfulness, and not coveting, not cheating or desiring things belonging to others. These are the main principles of Jainism. Next, spread of Jainism. So, in order to spread his new faith, Mahavira founded monasteries. In North India, this new faith was patronized by many rulers such as Dhanananda, Chandragupta Maurya, and Caravela. And there was a notable followers of Jainism in Karnataka and Western India during 4th century BC. Jainism encouraged the public spirit among all who embraced it. People were spared from the costly and elaborate rituals and sacrifices, and Mahavira believed that all objects have souls and consciousness. They possess life and feel pain when they are injured. There was a split in Jainism, and Jainism split into two branches, namely the Digambaras and the Swatambaras. Now, at last, we are going to discuss about the decline of Jainism. The lack of royal patronage, support of the royal, its severity, its factionalism, and spread of Buddhism led to the decline of Jainism in India. Next, we are going to discuss about Buddhism. Gautama Buddha was the son of Suddhodana. His father's name was Suddhodana, and he was born in 567 BC in Lumbini Garden near Kapilavastu, that is in present day Nepal, and his given name was Siddhartha. As he belonged to the Sakya clan, he was also known as Sakya Muni, and his mother's name was Maya Devi. So he lost his mother within a few days. So in order he was brought up by his stepmother. So in order to divert his attention towards worldly affairs, his father got him married at the age of 16 to a princess called Yashodhara. He led a happy married life for some time, and they had a son named Rahula. So one evening, while Siddhartha was passing through the city, he came across an old man who had been abandoned by his relatives, and he saw a sick man crying with pain, and he saw a dead body surrounded by weeping relatives, and he was deeply moved by these sights. And at last he also saw an ascetic who had renounced the world and found no sign of sorrows. So these four great sights prompted him to renounce the world and search for the cause of suffering. So in 537 BC, he left his palace and went to the forest in search of truth. So in the course of his wanderings, he sat under a peepal tree for several days until until he attained enlightenment. So the place where he attained enlightenment, the Mahabodhi temple, still exists in Bodh Gaya in Bihar. So after his enlightenment, Buddha decided to impart his knowledge to the people. He went to Varanasi and gave his first sermon at the place at Sarnath. He preached in the kingdoms of Magadha and Kosala. A large number of people became his followers. After 45 years of preaching, he breathed his last in 487 BC at Kushinagar at the age of 80. So now we are going to discuss about the teachings of Buddha. So in that first four noble truths, there is suffering and sorrow in this world, and the cause of all the suffering is greed, our desire, and there is an end to suffering. The way to end suffering is to follow the middle path. So this pain or sorrow can be removed by suppressing our desire, and this is to be achieved by leading a disciplined life or by following what Buddha called the Noble Eightfold Path. And the next one is the middle path, that is attainment of nirvana. And in this, according to Buddha, a person should aim at attainment of nirvana or the highest bliss, and it could be achieved by any person by leading a virtuous life and by following the Noble Eightfold Path. So, in this, we can see the Noble Eightfold Path, that is, Buddha preached a new path to attain the purest state of mind, that is, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So, Buddha preached that he who practices the Eightfold Path can attain the highest and purest state of mind. So, if you take spread of Buddhism, Buddha, in order to carry his message to different parts of India, he established the Buddhist Sangha, or the holy order of monks. The bhikshus and the bhikshunis were enlisted for spreading the faith, and they were required to lead a life of purity. Buddhism spread to Central Asia, Sri Lanka, Tibet, Southeast Asia, as well as the eastern countries of China, Mongolia, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. There was a split in Buddhism too. So during the reign of Kanishka, the Buddhist monk Nagarjuna initiated reforms in the way Buddhism was being followed. So as a result, Buddhism was split into two as Hinayana and Mahayana. So the Hinayana, it is also called lesser vehicle. It was the original creed preached by Buddha. In Mahayana, which is otherwise called greater vehicle, Buddha was worshipped as God and Bodhisattva as his previous avatar. Now, decline of Buddhism. Buddhism declined in India due to some reasons. Buddhism was popular in the beginning because it was preached in people's language Pali. The later texts were written in Sanskrit, which was difficult for the common people to understand. So, the split in Buddhism into Hinayana and Mahayana was another reason. So, image worship in Mahayana made no difference between Hinduism and Buddhism. Buddhism lost its loyal patronage during the reign of Guptas. Further, the invasions of Huns and Turks wiped out Buddhism. So, children, today we discussed about Jainism and Buddhism. Subscribe and get the latest updates. Thank you, children.